Definitely, no matter what stage you're at, listening is fundamental, unlike reading, because you know reading is fundamental. Hello everyone, Sawadee Tukongka, and welcome back to my channel. ที่คือพอดแคสต์ภาษาไทยที่ฉันชอบแท้ฉันอยากเรียนภาษาไทยฉันจะพูดไม่ใช่แท้ฉันอยากเรียนภาษาไทยฉันจะฟังpodcastภาษาไทย. So I'm going through 5 of them. I'm going to start with, of the 5, my least favourite going up to my most, but of course all 5 are good resources, which is why I've included them. So 5th on the list is Thai Pod 101, and now they also have a YouTube channel. First, let me say what they do. So they obviously have they have listening and new vocab and all of that. So it's basically they have beginners, intermediate and advanced content. So it's a really good resource if you're just starting out. If you're super advanced, it's a great place to go. The reason why I've put them 5th on the list is because I'm still not over their catfish behaviour, okay? I've listened to their absolute beginner videos when I was an absolute beginner, and now when I'm still a beginner, and still I'm like,
are we sure this is absolute beginner? I feel like this is beginner pushing intermediate, but who am I to judge?
So because of that, they are in the 5th position on this list. But I highly recommend them, so do check them out, check their YouTube, check their podcast. They're a really great resource. They also have an option where you can sign up for free and you can get daily emails of like daily Thai words. They've got worksheets. It's a really good place, especially if you're doing self-study. Number 4 on the list is Learn to Thai. This podcast only has, I believe it's 10 episodes. However, this was the podcast I used when I very first started because it is really beginner stuff. As in, I'm talking Sawadee ka, Sabadi mai ka, and when to say ka and krab, numbers. Like, it really is the absolute beginners. This is for you. You can do listening and then repeat after, and also listening with a bit of a quiz at the end of the episode. Episodes are really nice, short and sweet. You're going to need a podcast that is slow paced, that is going over the very fundamental basics, especially when it comes to being polite, because you don't want to come across as rude. For example, one episode is all about how to ask if someone can speak Thai or speak English, and again it's a bit like in English, the way you say something will be taken depending on how you say it. For example, it's like
can you speak English?
Is different from
so can you speak English?
You see? And they go over those sort of nuances with Thai as well. So before we carry on with this video, please hit that subscribe button. I know it gets annoying when YouTubers say this, but I'm really trying to grow my channel. I really do want to hit 500 subscribers by Christmas, so make 2020 end good for me, please. Help me hit 500 subscribers. Hit the subscribes, please. Back to the video. Moving on to my 3rd, and that is โลกไปไกลแล and it's a Thai podcast, and that is why it's on this list. I have just recently, very recently, discovered this podcast. Now this podcast is perfect for listening practice. Now I really wanted something that I could put on when I'm going out for a run. When I'm going for a very slow jog, when I'm in the car, or when I just need something to listen to, but I didn't want a lesson. And this podcast is basically, just as far as I'm aware, it's sort of looking at the world today, history and all of that good stuff. Now the reason why I'm so vague with my description is because it's in Thai, and as I'm not advanced, I'm not intermediate, I'm still beginner, I'm not 100% sure what the premise of all of their episodes are about, but it is good to listen and to, you know, get that practice in, and I'm able to pick up some of the words and kind of piece together some of what they're saying, and hopefully the more I listen, I'll eventually be able to come back and give you a real rundown on it. You know, because this is an honest channel, and as you can see, I'm keeping it 100, okay? I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I know what's being said, because I don't. I've only been learning for a few months, let's calm down. Now, moving on to my second favourite almost made it to my #1 favourite, and that is You Too Can Thai. And the reason why I love this podcast is A, there are so many episodes, B, it is great for listening practice, like all of these podcasts I know, but there are lessons, so if you wanted to sort of learn new phrases, things to say, but then also have listening practice, which is, for example, if someone's talking about their daily routine and at the end you'll have a mini quiz on, oh, so what do they do in the morning, what do they like to study, things like that. And there's different topics. So one was, for example, going out to eat with friends, and then you'd listen to the conversation, and at the end it would be like, does he like spicy food? Did they have a burger? And things like that. So you can really get the practice in. The speed is very nice for beginners because they have different levels. So you can see if it's intermediate, if it's advanced, if it's beginner, and the speed matches accordingly. So it is a really good, clean podcast, really great for getting those lessons in, especially any of my babes out there who are self-studied. You will really appreciate this if you didn't already know about them. They have a YouTube channel as well, so you know you can get your episodes on there if you wanted. Now moving on to my #1 podcast recommendation today, and that is Banana Thai. And I say Banana Thai, but it also comes up on my Spotify as Learn Thai GLUAYGLUAY, and obviously the names are below, so don't worry. But this is a great one, and the reason why this one came first for me personally has to be the vibe, because I just love the vibe, the energy on the podcast. I could feel the energy through the speakers, and so I just loved it. It really made it engaging. And on this one you will find different ways to learn. So for example, there's some episodes where you'll learn via song, there's some episodes where she'll be teaching, by she I mean Kru Smuk, where she'll be teaching phrases. So one episode that I really did like was different ways to say you've missed someone, and that was a really great episode. I did love that. I listened to that like 5 times. It was really good. And it also covered things like ways to use jai, because obviously jai can go with a lot of things. So it will like how to use it, what words you can make, and for example D is another one that can go with a lot of things. And so you're learning all these sort of like little parts on it, and it's nice quick short episodes, so you're not getting bored, you're not getting like, oh, is this still going on? And you could just put it on, go for a walk, put it on while you're cleaning, I don't know, whatever you're doing, put it on and vibe with it, learn with it and grow. So those are my 5 recommendations. Let me know in the comments, what podcasts do you recommend? Are there any that you're really vibing with at the moment? Like I always want this channel to be, this is a place for us to learn and grow. So join us, join the family, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the share. And as always, have a blessed day, and until next time, Sawadee Tuk Kongka. Goodbye everyone.